Yo, thank you for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. Listen, we got a very, very, very special episode right now. This episode, if you can't hear, if you guys have trouble hearing, then bag out and come back in. I'll bring y'all back up. It should fix your sound. Or look up in the top right-hand corner and refresh your page. Yeah, just refresh your page. You can't. Hey, Hope, turn your camera off if you ain't sitting down, and let her see if you can talk to her and see if she can hear you.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
No, I don't think she can hear none
I
of
don't
us.
think she can hear none of us.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear him.
Okay. Tell her to
Oh,
back out and come back.
If you're talking about me.
yeah.
Yeah, just tell her.
Back out and come back in.
Okay.
Give me two of those.
Oh, yeah, mute your mic, Hope. Okay. Yeah, to back out and come back in. See, look, John. I want to make sure that everybody get the information correctly. This is very, very important. You know, this is somebody's life that's on the line, and I don't want to mess this up. I want the information to come out here. I want people to be able to hear. If you're not sitting down, and turn your camera off because I don't want people to be distracted. So please turn your camera off if you're not sitting down. I just want people to pay attention to the information. You know what I mean? This right here. This could you please enter? Oh, she can't hear me. Marie, tell her to bag out and come back in.
Now? Oh, there she goes. She did it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, she can't. Tell her to back out.
She did. She backed out.
She did?
Yeah.
No, she didn't, because I didn't bring her back up.
She backed out. She's not up here.
I know, but I'm just saying. Okay, now she's back. Okay, now can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, if you had that problem, just back out and come back. Please introduce yourself. Let people know who you are, please.
My name is Latanya Roby. I am Arise Manley's sister. Used to be a resident of Minnesota many moons ago.
Okay, and we're talking about this because, matter of fact, hold on. Let me make sure that I'm live everywhere. I want to make sure that I go live everywhere. I want everybody to get this information, man. We can't mess this one up. Let people break it down to what's going on like right now. They tell them why are we here? What are we doing with this right now?
So basically, Aris, my brother, was convicted of a crime that he didn't commit, and I know a lot of people say that, but this is in fact true, and everything that we discussed today is documented. Everything we discussed today can be found in court records and transcripts, and you will be amazed once you hear the story, once you hear what happened. And I'm still amazed. I read through the transcript, and I'll be honest and transparent and say it took me a long time before I even read the transcript. But in doing my own research, and looking through his court case,
and recording.
Thank
you for using GTL.
That's him coming back in.
I know.
In reading his case, I was there's no words, and that's not hyperbole. That's being truly honest. When you hear what happened in his case, and the amount of injustice that was in his case, not just for him, but also for the victim.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm about to play. I'm gonna let y'all know how real this is. I got him on the phone right now, so what I'm gonna do is let y'all listen.
Hello, this is a free call from an inmate at the Minnesota Department of Corrections, Fair Falls Correctional Facility. To accept this free call, press 0. To refuse this call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Hello. Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, first off, I want to say thank you for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. I'm on here right now with your family. We just started off letting people know what's going on. Could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Reach Family. You call me Big me back in the day. I done changed since then, so I don't go my big league no more. My reach.
Could you let people know how long you've been locked down for?
I've been locked down 26 years now.
This is why this show is so important, because all of us have family members, loved ones this could happen to your loved ones if we don't pay attention and if we don't show up. So this is why this is so important. And this is not only going to the podcast. This is going to the state capitol, Minneapolis, to all the people. We want everybody to hear this information. Now, let's start your story off, man. You got the mic. I'm gonna let you flow freely. Let people know what's going on, what's your process is right now, what you're trying to do right now to get the people's attention, and where you need help at.
So first off, I definitely been screaming to the top of my lungs, and I've been innocent since day one. A lot of people from the neighborhood, they kind of do that from the things that were going on in the neighborhood. Shoot back and forth with different people that was trying to harm my then girlfriend. About some things that was going on in the drug gang back then.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah,
I
think it's a lot of static on your end. I don't think we can hear him.
Marie, can y'all hear what's going on?
Yeah, I can hear him, but then it's like some loud static coming in.
Okay, let's try to do this another way. All right, let me pull back a little bit. All right, go ahead, Reese.
Okay, so back then it was.
Is it better?
So far, yeah.
Yeah, they say it sound way better right now.
Can I just real quick?
Hold on, Reese. Hold on, Reese. Your sister want to jump in real quick.
Let me just say something real. No. Let me just say. No, listen. Let me just say one thing real quick. Okay, let me just say one thing real quick. He has maintained his innocence from the very day that that this happened. He has been fighting for his freedom the entire time. So everything you hear today, know that this is someone who has never changed his story, and has I just want to make sure that everyone.
No, she just wanted to let everybody. She just wanted to let it know to everybody that you never changed your statement. That you always said that you had nothing to do with this. So go ahead, Reese. You got the mic.
Okay, in the year 2000, it was a rocky year for a lot of us out there that was in the street gang. So back in the day, it was like police was a lot different than it is now. So now they kind of they getting outed a lot. So what had happened was we had got to dealing with some people from out of town, from California, different states, and my girlfriend decided to be a mule for some people from out of state. And she got caught up. It's her third time, so they threatened to take her kids from her. So they wound up putting her as trying to get them, but me and my homeboys, we warned her not to do that and kind of talked to her. She was supposed to go along with it. And her family didn't know. Her family didn't know. Nobody really knew about it. What was going on. A lot of what her mom knew. One of her cousins knew. There was just a thing that was going on with her. She wound up doing it anyway. Behind our back. She wound up doing it behind our back. And we didn't notice until I went and met with these guys. Told us that she's already been buying stuff, and they was wondering why they spotted like that. Because they couldn't narrow it down on one person. So what they did was they started a beef between us because they thought we was just gonna give her up and just let them mangle her and do what they wanted to do. But I'm not that type of guy. I'm saying, so you're not gonna just come from out of another state and do nothing to our homegirls, our homeboys, or none of that. They right or wrong, but back then people was no snitching policy, and I was the same way. But this was somebody that was close to me. She was a part of our crew. She was somebody I was dealing with, and everything. But that Friday, that things that went down, we had got into it with them guys. We had been going back and forth with each other for a very long time, for like almost a month. We had been going back and forth since the 10th. That October, we been getting into it all the way until November 3rd. that was when everything hit ahead at Perkins on Riverside. If a lot of people remember, it was a big fight. At Perkins on Riverside late at night. We stomped them out. The whole Minnesota crew. They were out trying to, get all their snitches and stuff like that. We got, told they put up. So you was supposed to go out of town with us. That weekend to go look for our house. We was trying to get out of here. She had packed, her whole house was packed up. Her house was in the spot where all the little gunners used to hang out. Over on Big House back in the day. We was trying to kind of move in on the drug game on the east side of St. Paul. They didn't want us over there. So they brought our police from St. Paul, from the hood, Selby, over to the east side to combat us because, a lot of people from Selby was going over there back then, all types of things. So they didn't want us over there either. Her cousin, she tried everything to get her, a babysitter, couldn't do it. So I had her in a hotel because of the fight. She didn't really understand the game like back then. Like, it was going to be retaliation because beat up some OGs from another state. So this is going to be some kickback. Plus, you done told on these people. So it's going to be some kickback. So I tried to, put her car in her car and keep her away from the spot and things like that, but that still didn't work. So that weekend, she didn't go with me. They wind up coming to the house that weekend, after I left town. We were selling the wet back then. So the only people with the wet was really that we was messing with was them. So the only reason that we really found out that it was really them is because her drug toxicology showed that she had a lot of sherm in her body. When I left her that night, she had nothing. She didn't have nothing. She was looking for something, smoking sherm and selling sherm. So what they did was neighborhood watch members wound up following somebody to the house a lot taller than me. They followed him to the house, gave me his way in, got in the house while we wasn't here. So what we thinking is whoever it was went and stayed inside the house until I left or they caught her by herself and they was gonna come in on both of us. Because that night we had went and got the kids. She heard something upstairs. And the last her son remembered is he did see me with a gun that night because he told me to go and search upstairs because she heard something. Smelled cigarette smoke. So I'm looking around, and our son was coming out of his room, and I grabbed him and told him, somebody's in the house. Somebody's in the house, that's your mama thing, so don't say nothing, just be cool. So I got the gun, I'm looking in his closet, I'm under the bed, everywhere. I looked in her room, looked around, looked in a little closet right here. But I didn't look in the duck off next to the main bedroom. So everything was okay. He couldn't got back in the bed. That's the last he remembered. So I wound up going downstairs, looked around a little bit, but the house is gigantic. We just opened this spot up, and there's tons of people come to this house because we're selling drugs out of this house.
Right.
This is the east side market house, so they come and go. So I went to my other girl's house to get my money because I was going out of town because I had one more day to go and secure this house for her and her kids in Kansas City, Missouri. So once I got over there, I got there about 2 o'clock. I stayed there that night. My little cousin was supposed to go. Her cousin was supposed to go. 2 of her cousins testified that we've been going back and forth, looking for her crib. And then that last day, her cousin was supposed to go. She didn't go. I don't know why, but she decided not to go. So I had to go get it by myself. But I was going to take my little female with me, but she had to work. So once I get out of town, next day, I talked to my cousin. And he the one who told me everything that was going on and all that. I came back to the store and he said they were looking for me. So from that point on, that's where the bullshit, that's where all the games started. So what the police did was, while 911 call was on November 5th at 4:30, I'm in Kansas City at 4:47 November 5th. I can't be in Minnesota and be committing a crime in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. So what the police did was they came in the crime scene, and these detectives were the most crookedest on the force because they used to be Selby drug officers. So this was Sergeant Munoz. He know me. He know my name. He know everything about me. You know what I'm saying? He used to chase me around the hood when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So when he found my car titles, he automatically said that it was me. He told Sergeant Shackle and Sergeant Schwab, they both testified that as soon as he seen the titles, he said, "This is our suspect. This is who did this. We know this guy. He's from Selby neighborhood. He did this. We know this for a fact." So what he did was he started orchestrating it automatically. So he seen Letitia on the ground. She was tied up, and she had a black mark over her eye. So he said it was a domestic. So this is where the coercion comes in. He said it was a domestic murder. So they took that and they ran with it. So he sends his rookie over to where the kids was. The kids called for help and ran to the neighbor's house at 4:30.
Right.
I'm in Kansas City, Missouri at 4:47. That's what time the Greyhound pulled into the Prospect Station. So I'm in another state. So they go and say, "This just happened. They just, this just happened. This crime had just happened." So what he did was they talked to the neighbor, you know what I'm saying, asked her questions, things like that. She said, well, they said they don't know who did it. Because the 911 tape, she's asking them what happened, and they said, we don't know. So if kids don't know who harmed their parents or harmed their cousin, brother, sister, whoever, they should know this 4 hours later. They should know this 2 hours later. They should know these things. Now, because they're going to tell, they know me. I'm the one
they would have said your name.
I'm the one. Yeah, I iron their clothes. I buy the clothes. I take them out to eat. I take them, and they know me. They came and said, Reese did this. Reese did that. Reese did that. They said they don't know who did it. They don't know how she's hurt. They don't know what's even wrong with her. They just said she's passed out. They don't know what's wrong with her.
Oh, wow.
Okay, from that point on, Sergeant Munoz, he gets crooked and says, don't fingerprint the bedroom. Now, when the police would remember this, when an officer of a murder squad, that's a professional, that's a homicide detective, tells crime lab, don't fingerprint the bedroom, automatically the setup is on. They're trying to pin this on somebody.
Yeah, that look on your face, that'll make sense, do it.
Hold on, Reese. Why would the police tell detectives not to fingerprint the bedroom?
Because that's where the crime happened. They're supposed to do it by policy. He told them don't do that because he wanted this on me. You got to realize back in the day, you know what I'm saying, we took over Selby. We took that whole area over back in the day. He hated people from Selby. He hated people from that area. He hated people because he couldn't catch nobody doing nothing. You try to chase one person, 5 other people won't try to get you up off. He was a detective from my neighborhood. So he seen my name, he automatically was like, this guy right here is this, because I was wild back then.
You have 1 minute remaining.
He automatically threw the case on me from that point on. He built it off me. He took it and he sent the rookie over to where the kids was. He sends him over there, he sent him with a story. He tell him that a Reese family, we think that he shot and beat her viciously, beat her very bad. And he did this, and we have proof. So this was within, a few hours. Now, the neighbor said that she'd been questioning them for hours. They didn't know nothing about no gun, no shoot, didn't hear no gunshots, didn't see nothing, didn't know nothing because they had been outside playing all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been playing all day, but I'm going to call you right back, bro.
Okay. All right. All right, so man.
Wait a minute. Let me say this while he's calling back in. That look you had on your face of like what do you mean? That's exactly how I felt when I read the transcripts, when I read the police reports, when I read the Sergeant Nelson himself on the stand, and they asked him why didn't he fingerprint the crime scene. He said it was a waste of resources. He said it was
a rental resources to check the crime scene.
to fingerprint the crime scene.
And they just went with that?
Not. Wait a minute. That's not all he said. His lawyer, Reese's lawyer said, "What if there would have been fingerprints there that didn't belong there?" He said, and I quote.
Yeah.
He said, and I quote.
Hold on,
I
Reese.
guess he said, and I quote. Understand? This is on transcript. He said, "I guess we'll never know."
Yo, hold on. Do we have that transcript hit with us
We had
today?
that in transcript. That
So
you have it in transcript. I sent it to you.
okay, I'm gonna post that. Reese, your sister just said that not only did that happen, but when the prosecutor got on the stand and your lawyer asked him, "Hey, why didn't you
The
guys?"
defense.
The defense asked. I mean, when they asked,
Right.
"Yo, so why didn't you guys, fingerprint the bedroom?" And the guy said it's a waste of resources.
That's what Dale Nelson said. Dale Nelson was the other
Dale
homicide detective. He thought it was a joke by laughing, thinking it's something funny. And these are two people's lives that's been lost. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
Yeah, and he said, he
Oh.
said, he
The
said,
officers say don't fingerprint the bedroom. The setup is on. So what they did was they sent the rookie, Sergeant Munoz, set the crime up by sending he sent the rookie over to the house where the kids was because they didn't have a story to tell. So what he did was he told them that we believe Reese Manley did this. He shot her, he beat her, and all of this and that, just to get him a story. It's called cross-contamination of evidence. It's an illegal identity tactic to give somebody identity and a story of a crime that happened, so they'd be able to have facts and tell, so they could be able to charge you.
So, what paperwork is that on that? And so we have all the transcripts and certain things we don't want to show today. We don't want to show everything. But what number on the paper can I scroll to show the transcript?
Hold on.
So many.
Officer Hall's comments.
You just got to tell me what page it is because it's all together is 20.
I don't have the actual number.
No, I got it, Reese.
My sister
let me tell you, it's Sergeant Nelson. It's Sergeant Nelson.
What they wound up doing is, they sent one rookie in to tell a story, to give them a story, and then he left. And that's when Officer Hall came in to interview him. So Mike Jr., he told him he was innocent, that I was innocent, I didn't do nothing to her, he don't know nothing about it. He said we've been playing video games at my friend's house. We don't know nothing about what happened. Now this is the oldest kid that they try to play like he was slow. But he was very highly intelligent. He talked to Officer Hall and told him. Then Officer Hall talked to the younger one, Mark. Mark told him, I did see him with a gun because that's the one who I had, picked up when I was looking around the house to see if anybody was there. Like I said, we heard somebody around. So he said that he didn't hear no gunshots or nothing like that.
We can't hear you, Reese.
Hold
on, Reese. We can't hear you. Hold on. Go back. That's a little bit, Reese. You start to fade out on us.
I'm gonna tell you the transcript. Can you hear him?
Told the rookie. He told the rookie, Officer Hall.
Oh, they can't hear me.
He hit me with a gun that night, but he didn't say night or day. He said it was just now. He said we just seen him with a gun. And, we heard him in the room, hitting her in the head with the gun, and all of this, and he got up and he left. So that was it. So then he turns around and like 2 hours later, he wound up going to the station and talking with Sergeant England. So now, before he went, a different police was pulling him in and out. So Miss Jandell couldn't talk, couldn't testify to what she didn't know. So she was just like, they kept pulling him in and out. So once he got to Sergeant England, his story was different. And it was more like a character. He was playing, it was videotape and it was audio tape. So she asked him, who did this? And he was like, Reese did it. I seen him take the gun and put it in her mouth and shoot her through the mouth. He shot her through the mouth. Yeah, he's like, I jumped on him and I hit him. This is a 6-year-old, 6-year-old. He said, I jumped on him and he laughing and playing like it's a joke because he don't even know right now that she's dead. So they're thinking that she's just beat up. So he's like, yeah, he shot her through the mouth and I jumped on top of him and I hit him in the head and he fell on the bed and then I chased him out of the house and he jumped in the blue car and took off and I chased him down the street and he's laughing like it's a joke. know what I'm saying? So she was like, you know, when she testified, she was like she didn't believe the testimony because of the way that he was, you know, portraying himself. So then that's when Sergeant Nelson interviewed him. I interviewed both of them. The older one, Mike, he told them that we was at my friend's house, same story. You know, we was at my friend's house playing video games all day. We got up at 9 o'clock. We looked in there, seen that she was asleep on the floor, and then we left. We wound up leaving, and we've been out in the streets running around all day until their little baby brother came and got him and said something's wrong. I'm in Kansas City then. I'm literally in Kansas City when they make this phone call. So they came over the story too, saying that it was, you know, this has just happened just now because they're listening to what the police has said. But Mike kept his story all the way for 6 months. So they took that one statement saying that they seen me put a gun. Mark Davenport said he seen me put a gun in his mom's mouth and pull the trigger.
Oh, wow.
And he jumped on me and picked me up. They took that and they ran it across they went viral all over the world. It went everywhere, making me seem like some vicious monster. You know what I'm saying? So they charged me just on that. Nothing else. Nothing else. They charged me on that. And even when the coroner came back and told them that she was not beaten up, she wasn't touched at all. She was not beaten up. That was not a black eye. That was blood leakage in the head from a gunshot wound. She got a gunshot wound. She was not shot through the mouth or in the back of the head or anything like that. So his statement was already trashed. So what they did was the police, they're serious, get shot down. So they ran to the family and told them, come up with domestic violence stories, try to help us get this guy, try to help us get him. You know what I'm saying? Because we believed that she was beaten, but the coroner said she wasn't. So they went to the coroner, Dr. Susan Rowe. They went to her and they told her, don't talk to the defense until we get a grand jury indictment. Once you get a grand jury indictment, that's when the life sentence comes on. So now it's hard to get out of. They can do all the lying and scheming and scamming they want now because that grand jury indictment is going to make it stick no matter what. So what they wind up doing is they tamper with her. So a lot of them people that, you know, start catching cases in California that was up here that a lot of people didn't even know in the hood, didn't know none of them guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They real names. They started catching drug cases. So they started telling. So the first one is him. He wound up telling that the dude RS told him that he, killed, told him why he did it, when he did it, how he did it, what was in the room. He told him everything.
Wow.
And that's the first person we got the statement from.
Right.
And there's another guy, L. Bogan. L. Bogan wound up coming forward. He's from Cali. He came forward and said he was trying to get out of his drug case. He told him, the dude RS told us that he did it. This is my homeboy I came up here with. He told us that he did it. And this is the reason why, because, she told on him or whatever and all this. So he winds up here, there's another one. Then her husband comes on years later. Well, he tells right then, but they hid him. He tells them that she talked to him a week before the murder, was crying to him, saying that these dudes is trying to kill him. His name is RS. She gave him his real name, where he's from, and why, and the same story. All these people had the same stories. So the guy's girlfriend wound up getting caught up. And she had a diary. She got caught with him. I'm already in jail. I done turn myself in. I don't turn myself in, bro, unless if I'm guilty of something, you know what I'm saying, then I always took responsibility every time I went to jail. When I went down there, they knew I was going to talk to them. I wasn't going to talk to them. That's not for me to come on with an investigation to do all these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they said they was charging me, I definitely wanted to go down there like, hold up. No, but the lawyer was like, don't talk to them, don't say nothing. They got their mind made up. You'll be out in a minute. I'm thinking I'm going to be out every day. I'm sitting there every day. Every single day, they had not one piece of evidence whatsoever. They found blood that wasn't mine on a picture. They found blood that wasn't mine on a phone. They found blood on a dresser that was not mine on the shirt. Her shirt. They didn't find none of my DNA, blood, no none of that.
So they didn't have no DNA evidence, and the witnesses were coached to talk. So
No,
how
wait a
in
minute,
the-
wait a minute. They did have DNA evidence, but it wasn't his. They
So
had
they had
DNA
DNA
evidence. It
evidence, but
wasn't
it wasn't
his.
his.
It wasn't hers, and it wasn't the kids.
Right now today is all legal. They use touch DNA from one fingernail like your wife. Your wife has your DNA under her nail. So what had happened was her blood had ran inside my DNA, my regular touch DNA. See, back then, in the early 2000s, they didn't have touch DNA because it wasn't that strong. They were supposed to exclude me, when they found my regular DNA. It didn't have blood, it didn't have skin cells, didn't have, if a person scratched you, they got skin cells, they got blood, they got hair, anything. They didn't find none of that. So what they did was they used my regular DNA that was washed over by her blood, because there was blood everywhere. So what they did was they took that and they ran with that like, oh, you must have scratched it, but my lawyer had mangled them on that. I'd already asked them where's the skin cells and all that. That's not from a scratch. That's regular DNA, and they proved that.
Wow.
But Ramsey County had conspired already together. They all came together because of those headlines. See, those headlines, they never came back and retracted and said that you didn't, she was not shot through the mouth. So his story couldn't have been, because his story was so, different, from the evidence.
Right.
He wasn't beaten in the head. The coroner testified on my behalf. He was not beaten in the head. He was not shot through the mouth. This crime did not happen at no 4 o'clock in the afternoon on November 5th. This had to happen between the night before. So if the crime happened from 2 o'clock in the morning till 6:30 in the morning, there's no way impossible, oh hell, you're going to kill my family and I'm going to go to sleep after you kill them and then wake up and then go outside and play and make me some breakfast, me and my brother some breakfast. Then we go outside and play all the way until 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then go for help. That's not going to happen because if it happened the night before, like the coroner said, that means that they didn't see it, they didn't know it, no nothing. So what backs up that statement is RS jail. He got caught with the same gun that they said that was used in the murder. He got caught with 9 grams of cocaine. He was on federal parole. What happened was he gets caught. Once he gets caught, he comes to Ramsey County Jail. He's in there. He's scared. He get a bracelet with my name on it saying keep away. So he goes in the cell with D. Weldon. D. Weldon is a white guy from the country somewhere. Don't know nothing about the gang life, no drug life, no none of that. He tells him, after the homicide came to see him, he tried to lie to them and say he don't know them, he don't know me, he don't know her, he don't know none of that. He got there laughing like it's some joke.
Yeah.
They wind up. He goes back to his cell. Once he gets back to his cell, he winds up telling that he's going to jail for murder. He told the whole story. He told him that when him and his guys got in the house, it was at the same time the neighborhood watch said that they got in the house. He said it was early in the morning. They got in there, got in the house. They was questioning her and all this stuff like that. They said they was gonna rape her. You know what I'm saying? Using a sex toy. So he said he ripped her panties off. Ripped her panties off. Looked in the next room and seen that there was some kids over there asleep. How do he know that the room is next door? Whenever
You have 1 minute remaining.
Came upstairs. He never came upstairs. He knew that spot, but he didn't know upstairs. So Daniel Weldon wound up going to tell. He told us the guy, this dude over here talking about that this innocent dude in jail somewhere, that he killed his girl and all this. He thinks it's a joke. I don't want to be in the room with him. He told him everything, word for word, that all his homeboys had told. Everything, gave everything, that he didn't want to be in the room with him. So they wound up telling him they wasn't going to move him. They want him to go back and keep talking to him. He went back and he was just telling the same story over and over that him and his guys went in there. They went in there, they did what they did. They was trying to get her because of what she did. Just all of the fight, everything, just talking a whole bunch of stuff, saying that it's an innocent man in jail. jail and took it in for it. We finna, go back to Cali and all, just talking crazy or whatever. So what wound up happening is my grand jury indictment, guess what they do?
What?
They snatch him and get him out of jail. Prosecutor wrote.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hold on.
Wait, let me. They got the guy out of jail.
So he could for
the one.
so,
hold on, the one who everybody said he did it. His own people saying it. His cellmate, who was this white guy from the country who don't know anything, and that they mentioned. Here's where they went wrong: is they mentioned every last one of them. These are people who don't know each other. Mentioned this sex toy that was not released to the public. So how would they even know that?
Hello, this is a
So that means
from
to the public.
An inmate at the Minnesota Department of Corrections, Faribault Correctional Facility. To accept this free call, press 0. This call is...
All right, you guys. For the people who just joining right now, we got an innocent man that been locked up for over 25 years for a crime he did not commit. The evidence showed that he did not do it. Everything showed that he did not do it. You guys, I really need you guys' help, man. Please, man. I got over 7,000, almost 7,000 followers on this Facebook page. Let's share it. Let's share this live out, and we need people to understand what's going on right here. So what I just heard was that a man was bragging in jail about what he did, right? So instead of the prosecutors and everybody bring that man down to question him, they release him from jail. Not only did they have blood evidence, they had all this evidence on the scene of the crime, and none of it matched the innocent man that's in jail right now. That's what's blowing my mind right now. And the only DNA that they used was DNA that he lived in a home. He slept on the floor. He up by the couch, all around the house, clicking toenails. You know what I mean? That's his house. Yo, this is crazy, man. If you guys want to sit around and let this type of treatment go on in 2026 and not do nothing about it, it might be one of your family members next that this happened to. There's no way on God's green earth that we should allow this to happen. We should all be furious. So y'all, please share this live, man. This is crazy.
Look, can I add just some context?
Hold on, your sister want to say a couple of things real quick. Go ahead.
So the Dr. Sadiq, which was the BCA who actually did the DNA analysis, during his testimony, he kept saying that it was a lot of blood, it was a lot of this, and it was a lot of blood, and he kept saying that enormous, it was huge amounts. Well, then Aris put in a records request in 2020. He had been putting in records requests. They kept not honoring them until Sergeant Munoz retired. Then they honored the records request. Well, he got back all this information. He did not know that they actually had the torn panties. They held them. That wasn't at the scene. He didn't know that they existed. So they had torn panties. He got the handwritten notes from Sadiq, Muhammad Sadiq, that in his handwritten notes said there were small amounts, minute amounts of blood. So he was on the court stand lying, saying, "Oh, it was a lot of blood. It was a lot of blood." And in fact, when he got his handwritten notes from the time that it happened, in his own handwriting, it was saying minute amount of blood. He had to look at it through a telescope.
So hold on, this is crazy. Hey, Marie, you with me? Okay, Riri, where you at? Are you still on the mic?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, read this comment on the screen, please. Hold on real quick.
Hold on, let me put my glasses on. Okay. It says deprivation under color of law section 242 title 18. They playing a color game, and the judge is administrator who is violation themselves according to supreme law of the land.
Wow. And then shout out to Kendrick, he's in the building. He says You want to catch that one, Reed?
He said,
Hold on, she's reading the comments out.
this needs to get out to the public. It does for sure.
Can I add a little more context?
Let her catch the rest of these comments real
Hold
quick.
on, one more.
Okay,
I got
go
one
ahead,
more
go ahead.
comment. Hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How is she still locked up? How is he still locked up with all this evidence?
And that's what we need to figure out. How the hell he's still behind bars? Go ahead, you got the mic.
You know why? Because they blew this up. They blew it up.
Sister on there.
They blew up the story, and it was a horrific crime. This is somebody who he loved. They blew the story up so much that it went worldwide, and they went with this story that he saw the kid saw him shoot his mother in the mouth, and it was a salacious huge story that it took off, right? Well, they can't admit that this happened because they forced her to become a confidential informant, right? They can't do that. So they see his title, they know him. This is somebody who he knew from the block, who didn't like him. This is somebody he knew from the block. So he right away within 5 minutes. And then the transcript, it even says that he knew right away within 5 minutes that this is who he had. This is the lead detective said within 5 minutes. They never investigated the crime. They never.
They just wanted to get. They held it. So what I'm hearing is they held a grudge against him, for his past life. But even what he did in his past life, they should have never put nothing like this on him. And they didn't have no evidence. If it was a crime scene like that with young kids, them little kids would know. Hey man, that was my mama boyfriend. We know who he is. They wouldn't have been on the phone call. Immediately they would have said that. Who did it? Oh, well, such and such did it. And no, I don't know. They would have told who did it. That's crazy, man.
So this is how they did it. Once they had that on TV and they had all the newspapers that went viral, they charged me on that, right? So what they did was they know I ain't never talked to the police. I'm not gonna talk to the police. If I know who did it, I don't have nothing to say to them. They gotta figure that stuff out by themselves. I never went to the police. I never went to the police. I never went to nobody. We knew who did it. After this happened, we knew. When I got back in town, we was back to it with these same guys. Some of them was still running around, so it was still a lot of stuff going on. Okay, we didn't run to the police and do all this and do it, none of that. His homeboys is the one that came forward and started putting his name in it because they was catching drug cases. So what wound up is happening, the story's so big, you had the mayor, you had the governor, the sheriff, you had homicide, you had St. Paul was on the map. It was on the map, so they was under pressure. So now the whole St. Paul came together, and that's where the conspiracy starts. Rosita Stervin, she wound up taking the case. When she took the case, she sent the police. This is why I'm still in jail. She sent her detectives to do all the dirty work. Rosita Stervin is the Ramsey County attorney back then. She was on a lower level, but she was smart. She knocked my case down from bit by bit. Every last one of them gang members from Cali, she sent the detectives to go threaten them. Every last one of them put in another report saying, calling my attorney, saying, man, this dude just came and threatened me for 40 years. So they're going to charge me with murder, and I know too much about the murder. Every last one of them. T. Edwards, he came forward. He was like, my homeboy from Cali did this. He told all of these things, told him why, and he called the person, the NAACP back there, and told an innocent person in jail. My homeboy is the one that did it. What had happened was the person that he was talking to went and told Chief Finney. Talked to Chief Finney, and they wound up raiding his house. So Sergeant Munoz had his house raided. Once he got inside the house, he looked inside the house. He wound up eating the man's pizza and told him, if you tell anything about this story, you're going to go to jail for murder for 40 years. So he dropped out. Every last one of those witnesses dropped out. So the last one was our head. They wound up threatening them. They threatened every last one of them with the same thing. You know too much about the case, you're going to wind up going to jail for 30, 40 years. So he was like, well, he just wanted to tell the truth. He's just telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? So wound up saying, well, what if this was your mother, brother, or sister, or whatever? You know what I'm saying? We know he did it for a fact. So by now, the family came out with 1,000 stories, lies, saying I was domestic abuser, like I was beating this girl up. I ain't never been charged with a domestic. They had on the news that I've been charged with several domestics. They ain't never been charged with one. You know what I'm saying? So what they did was they came with all these things, and then the whole Ramsey County got together, and that's when the illegal tactics started. Every last one of their professionals got called lying on the stand. The crime lab I was the start off from the crime lab shutdown. So what the crime lab did was got up there, and they didn't have their story together. So once he got on the stand and started to shake shackles, he got on the stand and they asked him, well, did you fingerprint the bedroom? He was like, yeah, we fingerprint the bedroom. That's on number 1335. If you go to that transcript, 1335 through 1340, you'll see Shake Shackles saying, I fingerprint doorknobs, I fingerprint the door frame, the door, the dresser, and all that. And she was like, well, what did you get from that result? He said, mere smudges. The same thing that he did from 2001 all the way to 2013 when they got shut down, because he did it on hundreds of other cases. And guess who he worked it with? Dr. Munoz, Rosie the Cereman. He worked with all of these different people and got the crime lab shut down. So a prosecuting attorney can't know that you're lying and let you on the stand and let you put this to the jury. So my lawyer said, well, it don't say that you fingerprinted on him. So he was like, oh, I fingerprinted. You know, she's like, you're under oath. He's like, yeah, I fingerprinted. So once he left, Sergeant Munoz got there and said, he didn't fingerprint anything in the room. You know, he didn't fingerprint anything. Then Sergeant Nelson got up there and said he didn't fingerprint anything. He said, that's a waste of resource. So in 5 minutes, you know who committed this crime. He laughed and said, this is just a waste of resources. So then his partner, Sergeant Schwab, got up there and said, well, he don't know why there was no fingerprint. But what they did was Sergeant Schwab got him caught up by taking her. It's a basket next to her. It's a black basket. So what they did was they was around the house looking for the panties. The panties was missing. So they're looking for it because all the clothes is in boxes. Because she was moving, we was getting her out of town. So she had to living out of boxes. So they looking around and looking around and looking around. They go and say they never found them. So what happened was Sergeant Schwab was doing his going through with the video camera. He was going through with the video camera. Okay, it's the basket right next to her. Okay. They never had this.
Oh, my phone died. Hold on. Hey, my phone died.
Oh, okay. If he calls me, I'll call back in.
Please.
Let me add context. So when he said Sergeant Nelson was on the stand, now when he said the crime lab got locked down, that was the Ramsey County crime lab that was investigated by the FBI and got shut down because of this very same thing. And Sergeant Schwab was one of the ones who got fired because he did the same thing, lied about fingerprinting crime scenes that he did not fingerprint, fabricating evidence. This is what Sergeant Schwab did, and this is what he got fired for during the FBI investigation. So Aris was supposed to have been in those cases where their cases got thrown out because of this, but at the time he wasn't receiving his mail in jail, so he didn't know. He wasn't notified that he was supposed to. They should have been coming to the jails, if you ask me. But that's here nor there. Let me also add context to some of the other things that he mentioned. Understand that everyone that testified, and you have the witness statements. So even every one of those witnesses that came forward, they gave statements. And when he say, oh, they was threatened with 40 years, no, they testified to that in transcript. That's in transcript during the trial. They testified that they were threatened. And the judge even admonished one of the prosecutor at one period in the transcript where they were like, Well, if he's trying to, um, seek a better deal, how is it that they're being threatened? Why are they still being these witnesses being threatened? So if everything that he's saying, he knows his case backwards and forwards, and he's passionate about it, but these details matter. These details matter. The details that he would have never known that a lot of this evidence even existed had it not been for him putting in that records request. It's akin to a FOIA request, right?
It sound to me like they, they knew what they wanted to do.
No, no, 100%. You had, and when he says that they start going to the families and getting domestic stories, that's that's also in a report. So you had one of her cousin, so-called cousin, and her father lie and say, the daughter said, and you have her report. You have her report. The daughter said, "Oh, Reese said he was gonna kill her, and he was over there fighting them, the day before. He was over there fighting her the day before, trying to steal her keys." This is what she told the police, right? Well, she came back and admitted that she lied about that. She came back and admitted that she lied about that. She sat with Rosita Servant, who was Serrano at the time, and Neil Nelson, and they wrote a report, but guess what they did?
What?
Misnumbered the report.
Oh
So
wow.
so Ari's defense didn't know the report existed, right? Now,
Wow.
now, now keep put a pin in that, because that happened a couple more times. Them misnumbering, air quotes, the reports. So, and he didn't get this information. Keep in mind, he didn't get this information. A lot of this stuff until he put in that report that request that was actually honored when Munoz retired. So, her father, who also said that, yeah, he was on the phone with her, his daughter, when the fighting was happening, when Reese was over there the day before fighting them, trying to get the keys, and he was on the phone with them. This is what the father said, right? Now, when you see, this is R. Walker, this is the reports I'm talking about, and T. Walker. This is the reports. R. Walker said he was on the phone with her, right? He came back and said, actually, he came back first before the daughter did, but he came back and said he lied about that. That didn't
Oh
happen.
wow.
Yeah, he came back and said it didn't happen. Now, mind you, he sat down and there is a report that said this. This was on May 22nd before the trial. He said it didn't happen. I lied, right? The prosecutor still called both of those witnesses and testified and asked them, didn't you say that he was over there fighting the day before? Never mentioning that they recanted, that they admitted that they lied about that.
Wow. This is crazy, man.
The
This is
report,
crazy.
he, the father actually got caught on stand. It was Reese's attorney who came back and said, "Well, wait a minute, didn't you say that didn't happen? That you lied about that?" He said, "No, it happened. It happened." She said, she was now they actually had his report, and you have that report. If you look on there, say May 22nd, where he came back and said he lied about it. It didn't happen. She said, she gave him the report. What does this say? Didn't you mention that you? Then he said, this is on the stand. He said, "Oh, you right. You right. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. I lied. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Your Honor." He looking at the prosecutor like, "Yo, why you asking me that when you know I said I didn't do it?" But she was soliciting. The point is that she was soliciting perjured testimony. You see what I'm saying? Something that she already knew prior to the trial didn't happen, because he came back and said they lied. The daughter came back and said she lied. Then they want to try to clean up, say, "Oh no, he wasn't there. He drove by." Wait a minute. I thought he was in there fighting and trying to snatch keys. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this was going on. Oh, let me see. He might have been trying to call me. I had my phone on mute. Let me but the details actually matter. The details matter. Um and understand, he did not have a lot of this documentation because they withheld it. He didn't know about the underwear. He didn't know about the that there was actually a report from the neighborhood watch who said they saw a man go in the house and he was looking a little sketchy, which caught their eye and they kind of followed and watched him. He they didn't they he didn't have that. He didn't have the handwritten notes from the BCA where he literally said uh minute, you'll see the report, you have that as well, minute blood, small amounts, but he was on a stand and he was saying stuff like, oh, it was huge amounts, it was huge. Like he had them thinking it was blood, Reese blood all over the crime scene. Also, the coroner the coroner said that to the naked eye it would appear as if she was in a fight, but she was not.
Let me know if you can hear. Okay, we got Reese back on the
Okay.
line. She was just explaining what happened about how the guy um got on this shit.
R. Walker, don't say his
R.
first
Walker
name.
got on the
Yeah.
stand and said, "Oh well, never. I lied. But go ahead, Reese. You got the mic.
So what they did was, I'm gonna back it up a little bit to show you the crooked things that they did during the investigation. First, they fingerprint the room. Then they stole from the crime scene. They took
Whoa,
they
whoa,
they wound
whoa.
up taking
They
they
stole from the.
stole from the crime they stole from the crime scene, and this is how they did it. You gotta follow this or you might miss it. This is how they did it. Okay. When he first came in, he thought in his mind, because he seen a black mark over her eye, that this is the domestic. So he thinking this is domestic, that she's been in a fight. Okay, but the coroner shut it down by saying that she's never been in a fight. That's not a black eye. They told all the family and try to portray to the newspaper and to anything that can listen that this was a domestic murder. But the coroner, going on all the crooked things they was doing, stopped working with them because she figured that they was trying to get out of something. So she testified on our behalf and said that he did not. It was not a fight. She was not punched. She was not beaten in the head with a gun. She was not shot through the mouth. Anything, killing all their whole theory. The
Wow.
next door neighbor that shared a wall, Miss Pam, she said that she didn't hear no fight, no big old drop down fight that they said happened and all that. So they shut that down. So now it comes to her panties. Now there's 4 statements that said that these guys said that they had took her panties off, they saw rape her and things like that. Okay. Now when they came to the panties, they said they was in there looking for the panties. They didn't find them. They didn't find them that day. Now follow me. They didn't find them that day. You got 20 professionals in this room looking for panties. They didn't find them. There's not no criminal or no crook or no rape boy or whatever, a rapist or whatever, going to take some panties and go in and stash them here or there or there or there. They're going to take them and they're going to throw them right then and there because they think that they're going to get some. So what they turn around and do is they don't find them. I don't find out where these panties went for 23 years, 22 years later when I filed for Sergeant Munoz's evidence. So now I find out that the mother took the house and found them in the basket and gave them to Sergeant Munoz. Now Sergeant Munoz is caught because now she done gave me these pennies. So now she's like, "Oh, I got these out of the basket." The basket was right next to her head. If you look at the top of Sergeant Schwab's video evidence, the bag, the where she found them, the basket is next to her head. How can they miss that? So that means that they took them, hit them, and then brought them back later after they left. So Sergeant Munoz and Sergeant Nelson, they testified at the end of their testimony. Sergeant Munoz said, "Yeah, we went back to the house and looked for additional evidence 3 days later without everybody else. They went back by themselves. There's no other evidence to find in this house. So that's when they put them back. So when they put them back, the family came and got everything and dug in there and seen she was a good mom, good ass mom. She's never gonna have sex when her kids is woke. She's never gonna have no sex toys around her kids, anything like that. That's one thing. She might have been a drug dealer, getting her money and doing her thing, but she's never gonna be a bad mother. She was a good ass mom. She'll never be like that. So they took them and they brought them back because they didn't want it to make it out to be like, okay, this really looks like sexual assault or something like that. So they wanted their theory to stick. So when she brought them back, my lawyers I hired, I told them I want them tested. If I'm guilty, why the hell I want some panties tested? If you can see my DNA be there regardless, but they wasn't. My DNA wasn't nowhere on the panties. It's somebody else's DNA.
Whoa. Hold on. So somebody DNA, was it sperm, blood? What was it?
It was DNA. It was sperm. It was sperm cell found. So what had happened is we find out, this is when we really how bad my lawyer was. My lawyer wound up flipping on me back in the day to become a lawyer. That's Judge Joey Barcher. Judge Joey Barcher hid all my evidence. This is when I found all the evidence. Judge Barcher didn't test the pennies. She didn't test them. She didn't do anything with them whatsoever. Now, any top attorney, she was a top attorney back then. She would have took them and she would have said, we got them. She would have had them tested. She would have been happy because it's material DNA. Okay, Rosita Servant, she would have tested them, but she was an ethical prosecutor. She would have tested them anyway. She came to my hearing in 2022 and said, yeah, I sent 4 requests for them to be tested. Joey Boxer didn't test them. That's not my fault, but it is. Brady versus Maryland, she's supposed to test them anyway to find out my truth or my guilt. Her ethical vows that she took was to seek justice. That's not justice. So now, once I file this after Sergeant Munoz retires, I find this neighborhood watch people that follow different persons to the house.
Wow.
It's different blood. It's the BCA guy, Sadiq Muhammad, lied on the stand. We got his notes. Then I find the neighbor across the street. She said that she has seen 2-3 cars going back and forth, to the house, back and forth during the murder time. And Earl Walker, they come and they testify. They lied, during the whole investigation. And they like, well, we lied and all this and this and that. They can't clean. Rosita Servant still used them on the stand, which that's against her ethical duty. You can't use perjured testimony. If you use perjured testimony during the trial and you do that,
watch out, baby.
She tried to get him to coach him on. And my lawyer sat there until we was looking at her, and she finally stood there, and then she brought him the report saying on May 22nd, you sat down with Sergeant Nelson and Sergeant Prosecutor Rosita Servant and told them that you lied on him and you made up all this stuff and all this, you and your daughter. So, that. So before trial, they go out to each person and they tell them what they can and can't say. So she was supposed to go out there and say, well, you can't say any of your statement because you said you lied. But instead, she was so thirsty to convict me, she brought him out anyway, put him on the stand and let him tell his lies. And she smiled and looked at the crowd, the jury, and sat down. So when my lawyer stood up there and brought the report, she was supposed to make an announcement that his testimony cannot be used. And it was supposed to be a mistrial. But she used it anyway. So if you think about it, she used the crime lab. She let him use his statement by saying that he fingerprinted. She knew he didn't fingerprint. R. Walker, she knew that he lied before and brought her and came, sat down with her and told her that him and his daughter lied on me and made up all these things. Those was the only witnesses. Then they turned around and she knew that the BCA was lying. They said in the history of the DNA, that was a lie. Then she let them come with the kids.
Hold on.
I heard them both, and that was it. Now they done changed the older kids' statement to saying that the older coerced him. He changed all that stuff saying he was innocent and all this. But if you think about it, all the neighbors said that they seen him outside playing all day. But that kills both of their statements. That shuts it down and proves coercion through the police. So when they went to the psychiatrist, he pumped it in their head that I did this. He's not supposed to do that. So what he did was he formed their testimony, but the oldest one kept getting guilty, kept coming to tell him, I lied. It's right there at the top. He says, I lied on Reese. I'm sorry, I lied on Reese. I don't know. And then the grand jury indictment told him that somebody told him what to say. They still came along with the grand jury indictment.
Wow.
So how I'm still in jail, to nip it all in the butt, how I'm still in jail, the court system go like this. They're not for us in Ramsey County or Minneapolis. That's why you see so many innocent people getting out nowadays. There's people that I count with both hands that's been getting out. I'm just waiting on my turn. But the case was so political because Joy Barker flipped on me. She hid all my evidence and DNA evidence. She didn't investigate. She didn't do anything. She didn't do anything in my case. She hid everything from me. Rosita Servant got her to flip on me to help her become a judge. So what turned around and wound up happening is I didn't have nothing because they shot everything down in the Supreme Court and all that because they wanted justice in that case and they didn't care. Even when I got the husband statement, that was in 2013. They didn't bring him to court. Rosita Servant called during trial and told Miss Pam that she didn't need her no more. Why wouldn't you need her to come to court to say that she didn't hear a big fight to help on the defense side? So they killed my whole entire side. They shut my entire defense down.
Wow.
No matter what, it was crooked. So when they started, doing all these crooked things, I knew right there, Joy was not on my side. The family, they was thinking that it was a domestic, that she was beaten and all of these things. And they still don't know right now today, until they probably hear this podcast, that she was not beaten because the police didn't come back and tell her. They never told her mother about there's other suspects saying that they did it and said what was in the house or how they did it and what they did. Their mother and their kids are still thinking right now today I did it because the police is the one that put it in their head. And once you in prison, it's the hardest thing in the world to get out. I've been fighting since day one. I done hired lawyers. I done did all types of things. Everything I possibly can every year since I've been locked up. If you follow my case, I've been locked up all this time. I've been fighting my butt off to get out of here. My story ain't changed. Their story and everybody else's story changed. My story's never changed because it's the truth. It take a monster, excuse my French, a monster to kill a mother of four and lay her body out display for her kids. Why would I want to do that? She trusted me. We was in and out of town together every weekend. She told her husband that she trusted me. This is a week before it happened. She told her she trusted me. He told her that I was going to help her get out of this. She told him who the murderer was. His homeboys told him who the murderer was. I never talked to the police, not even still right now today.
Wow.
I never talked to him, never gave him a name, never talked to him, no, none of that.
Well, look, let me ask you a question before we end this show. What is it that you want the people to know? What do you want the people to do to help? And how can we help you, man? Like, what else? I know the podcast is one thing, but what can the people get? I'm talking about put the boots on the ground and go out to do right now to make sure that they reopen this case and see what's going on.
Man, I need y'all to start calling the CRU unit and tell them that you want a reasonable case looked at. I need y'all to write them. I need y'all to write Rosita Servant, call down to Ramsey County relentlessly.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Rosita Servant or John Troy and tell them y'all want this case back open or y'all want me free. Y'all start calling Madison. That's my idol, man. Call that man. He is fair. I don't care what nobody say. Let's get this going, man. They've been holding me for so long, and they're going to keep doing it. And this could be your child. This could be your son. This could be your everything. I'm finna get out. Why would I be sitting here still saying that I'm innocent if I'm guilty? That sounds stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna fight to the end because they owe her more, and they owe me more, and they owe the family more and more information. They owe us more. If we was rich, none of this stuff would be even happening. I wouldn't be here. But I need y'all to go to change.org and sign my or send it to anything. Start calling the governor's office. I got my name, everything. Y'all start just going. There's going to be a Facebook group with a Reach family on there. Start calling these people, man.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hey, man.
Let me add just a little bit more context. I'm sorry. I let him go because he's passionate and rightfully so. He been fighting for his life for 26 years. The details, again, I'm gonna say matter because everything that we're saying is in transcript. We have reports, documentation, we have witness statements, we have transcripts. Everything that we are saying is in the transcript, so you don't have to take our word for it. Send us a request to
The Department of Corrections, Fairballs Correctional Facility. To accept this free
send
call,
us a request to I didn't commit the crime at gmail.com.
Hey, make sure you write that in a private chat, and I'll put it in the chat of the live stream right now.
Okay, let me put it in here. This is his email.
Go ahead.
One thing that I'm gonna tell y'all is what had happened was it was a tragedy. It was terrible. It takes a monster to do something like this to a woman, a mother of four. She can sleep with my mother, brother, sister, cousin. She can fight. She can scratch. She can do whatever in the world. But I'm never, ever going to kill no woman and let her kids sit out there and mourn her death for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of dude. I done been drug dealer, all types of things, but I'm never going to sit back. And the only reason I'm fighting because I'm innocent and they owe her more. Ramsey County owe her more. They owe her more. These fools around and out there running around in the streets all this time, and then they put me and thought I was gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget, not today, now, not never.
Hey, I wanna hey Reese, I want to read this comment from Maya. She said it sounds like the lady won't. She said it sounds like she won't admit admit that you're innocent because it will end up having to open up all her cases for review. She said it'll put all her cases in review if
Yep,
she come back and be like, "Yo, I made this mistake." They're gonna have to go review all her cases.
that's
Do
exactly what it is.
That's what's going on right now. She won't do it. It's called a prosecutor initiative. She got the power. Ramsey County got the power right now. It's over 26 years, bro. 26 years. All they had to do is come down here and sit there, interview me, go ahead and sign the papers. You're out of here, going about your. It was so much misconduct, police misconduct. They threatened my mother. They threatened every witness in my case who broke the law, and Rosita didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. Joy Barcher, she didn't do anything. She had a hearing, but she had a hearing with the police sitting right there in front of them, saying that they didn't threaten them. Scared to death. One
Wow.
thing I gotta say before we hang up: they put me in jail. They thought that I was gonna lay back and I was gonna just let everything. I was just gonna let everything just die out and just do this time and not learn and all that. I've been fighting ever since, and my peoples, whoever was behind me, out there helping me get attorneys and doing their thing, believing in me. So what I did there I went to school. I did everything.
Hey, Maya said, did they ever consider? No, Maya, they didn't need to consider the husband. They know who did it. Like,
Well, and not just that, the husband. Now,
She called her
yep,
a week before she died, and he told her, she told him that our Scott's trying to kill me. I told on them, because they was trying to take the kids. She was saying that they've been, shooting at her and things like that, trying to kill her. If I come up dead, this is who did it. So what the police did was they were supposed to bring him to trial. Rosita Sarah eventually went behind their back and she told them, don't bring him to trial. She broke the law. She prosecuted misconduct over and over and over and over. She all of the witnesses that were supposed to be testifying for me, she shot them down. She put them, she hid them from them.
Right.
But the last thing I want to say is, since I've been locked up, I done went to college. I done wrote kids' books. I done wrote kids' books for kids to stay out of gangs, from selling drugs. I've been mentoring. I write books for kids with cancer. Just
You've been spending your time the right way. Yeah.
And I've been a mentor to a lot of the gang members that's in prison, help them get out of gangs and drugs, and on the streets. I've helped a lot of people on the streets. I went to college to be a mentor. I got my mentorship, so now I work as a mentor inside the prison and outside the prison.
All right.
All I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna ask your sister. No, I'm gonna ask you and your sister right now, right? Because I got people in the comments wanting to know how can they help. She says, "Your breakthrough coming, and many more will be set free by it." She said, "Solo, please post who we need to call and write to get the momentum going on this." So we definitely want to get this started. Who should we reach out to? Who can we call again?
Send all the.
Number one.
Who?
John Choi, a Ramsey County attorney.
John Choi.
And Keith Ellison.
Keith Ellison for sure. And shout out to Keith Ellison. I met him a couple times. Who else?
The CRU unit is conviction review unit. They've been holding on to my case for 3 years and did nothing with it because it's so political. The only people that can get this overturned or to get me out or clemency or anything like that is the public. I'm from here. We can't let them just keep on doing this to our people, then finding out 1,000 years later that they're innocent. Everybody say they're innocent, but I got proof, a DNA proof, witness proof, everything. If you call John Choi and you call the governor, call everybody that you think of that's in power, they can help. They'll tell you exactly what to do and they'll tell you what they can do. But Keith Ellison is the man. He's the man. Our unit, that's his unit. You call them. You call John Choi, Ramsey County attorney, and you let them know that this man needs to be out of there. He needs to be free. He's been in there all this time. There's so much misconduct that y'all can't even count on one hand. But if you go to change.org, sign the petition that's on there. If you go on there, you'll see a Reese Manley. You'll see another one on there that says review. Change for review on there. Sign those out there and share them, please, man. I've been down this long time, and I've been fighting since day one, and I'm not gonna stop. If it was y'all, I'll put my boots to the ground and my soldiers and my people and everybody feet on the ground, and we coming for y'all. But the next thing we're gonna do is, if they don't want to honor anything by this summer, a lot of the organizations, the wrongful conviction, Alicia Washington's group. Her group is one of the best. We Resolve, the Hope Act, Agape over South. A lot of those people, they know exactly what to do. We trying to get together with the 50101 boys and try to, at least if they don't want to honor none of that by the summer, then we'll get together and we'll go down to the courthouse ourselves, 1,000 deep, asking for my release, or the case to be reviewed, or for those two that came together to put this case together, Rosita Sermon and Joy Barcher, we ask for their resignation because Joy Barcher's coming up for re-election in December, and Rosita Sermon is coming up to try to be a.
What's her name? What's her name again? Because I'm actually doing something with a couple of politicians for the re-election this year. I just need to remember their name. Joy Barcher.
She was just on the news last year for hiding evidence in another case with Channel 11. Then they got Rosita Sermon. She's never even came to talk to me or face me or nothing. She know what she did. All of this misconduct. She committed misconduct from the beginning of my trial to the end. You got to remember, the prosecutor is the end person. She sends out all of her detectives and tells them what she needs and what them to do. Before trial, sits everybody down and tell them what she needs from her, what they can and can't say. She let all of this person come through. And guess what she did at the end? And this is what I'm gonna leave it at. She broke the law so bad. This is what she did. She came after the coroner told them that this girl was not beaten at all. Guess what she told the jury?
What?
You heard the coroner. The coroner stated that she was beaten very badly. And Reese did it. You heard him. You heard what she said. She was beaten.
That's what she said during closing arguments.
Then she used R. Walker's statement. You heard R. Walker. He said that he was there fighting and arguing the day before trying to take the keys from her. And my daughter called me and told me that he was there. She used their statement saying she already knew that they had lied. They had came back and recanted. Susan Rose, the coroner, already said she was not beaten. She can't do that. She snubbed her nose at the law because she was I was a poor black man that was from the streets, and she can do that. She can mangle that. This could be your son, your daughter, your family. This can be that. We cannot let that go on. She's downtown. She's been planning my life, and then what she turned around to do is she let the man who did it out of jail. This man was on federal parole. The gun that he used, he got caught. They took that gun and they took the drugs, took him to jail, held him for 2 weeks, and he's on federal parole. Guess what she did?
What?
She signed him out of jail. She signed him out of jail. She got that man out of jail with no charges whatsoever. She got him out. He ain't stuck on me because they had lied so much on me. You know what I'm saying? They had formed that case so much around me. In 5 minutes of showing up on the scene. Come on, man.
I tagged We Resolved Damon Drake, and I wanted to find Keith Ellison. I couldn't find him. I'm gonna find him and tag him into this too, because this is crazy, man. We want y'all to do what y'all supposed to do. Do what's right. You know what I mean?
Let me say this real quick.
He has the power to come and get me out of jail at any given day. Any attorneys out there that you know that's pro bono that will come and help me, man, send them my way, please. I beg y'all. Because what I'm coming out there to do is I'm coming out there to right a lot of my wrongs. But what I'm definitely coming out to is fight for justice for me and Tisha.
So what?
You know what I'm saying?
So what is Keith Ellison? He is a what? He is a
Attorney
lawyer.
General. He's an Attorney General.
Okay.
Ellison is the Attorney General. That's the top man of the city that can sign you out with the stroke of a pen.
For the state of Minnesota.
Don't really know about this case because it's so old and it's been pushed down. But the only way that he would ever see my case is if you bring it to him and you let him know this man needs to be out of here. He needs to be out of prison. He needs to be free. Whatever you got to do, because he's their boss. He's their boss. Rosita's boss. John Choi. All of them people. He's the boss. Him and John Choi is the big bosses. Rosita and them is right under them. So they're gonna try to find out a way to try to scheme and scam to try to make it seem like I'm guilty or do anything politically tactic because they used the media to convict me back then. Y'all are some soldiers out there. We've been in here watching how y'all march, how y'all stand up, and we applaud y'all for out there standing up for the people. It ain't just like now back in the day. Everybody say they're innocent, and then people that say that they're innocent, that fades away in 2 years. They sit down and do their time. Me, I'm gonna fight now. I'm gonna fight when I get out, and I'm gonna keep fighting forever. But I'm also gonna fight for your family. I'm gonna tell your family exactly what they need to do to try to help them because we're coming to join. We Resolve. We Resolve is a good team. They talk to you every week. They do anything you ask for free. They take donations, but they didn't ask me for nothing. Alicia Washington, soldier. She's behind me. Her husband, Cornelius Jackson, trying to help him get out. They overcharged this guy, man, 1,000 years. They just did him dirty, and he was only a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Had nothing to do with the crime, but it's a lot of people that's behind the walls that's getting out every year that y'all never hear about. But we applaud y'all for helping us, standing up, and keep moving, man. We got to keep this going because this been going on since the 1800s, the 1900s.
Well, look, check this out, Reese. I just tagged Keith Ellison in this podcast. If he is listening, is there anything you would like to say to him right now before we get off?
I would like to say that we would love for you to look into this case. I've been watching everything that's been going on with you, and I really, really need you, bro. I've been in prison 26 years for a crime that I did not and couldn't commit. And Ramsey County, they did me very, very dirty by putting a case together. They formed a case together within 5 minutes. They used coercion, prosecutor misconduct, police misconduct to the fullest. The police threatened all my witnesses. We have all the reports. I got DNA on my evidence, for my evidence. We got neighborhood watch that followed a whole different person there.
You have 1 minute remaining.
The person that died, she came and told them her husband a week before who did it. And the same person who they said that did it is 5 and 6 other different statements proving that they did it and it wasn't me. Since I've been in prison, I done changed my whole life around. I done went to college. I write kids' books. I mentor on the streets and in prison. I need your help.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for
using GTL.
All right, you guys. Thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Code Talk podcast, y'all. Please, I want you guys to look in the comment section. I'm gonna tag everybody who they said you guys can reach out to. I tagged Keith Ellison. I met him a couple of times with the Ujama program. He's a good man, and I know if he could get this message or hear this podcast, he will look into it and see what he could do to help out, man. He's fair. So okay, before we close out, go ahead. I'll give you the floor, man. Go ahead. What you want to say?
I really want to say that one of the comments on here was did they look at the husband? Here's the most atrocious part, right? Like Ari said, she called her husband called her to check on the kids, and she told him, if something happens to me, this is who did it. This is why, he's been threatening to kill me, so on and so forth, because the police is forcing me to make controlled buys for them. He understand this. He said that she was scared. You have his interview. She was scared, so on and so forth. She was telling him, he asked about Ari. She said, no, he's with me. He's helping me, basically, because he was going to move her out of town. Her family testified to this, that they were supposed to go out of town together. The only reason why she didn't go is because she couldn't find a babysitter. So that's why Reese went by himself. Now, the husband, the ex-husband, estranged husband, he said, you don't have to take my word for this conversation. I was at Lionel Lakes at the time that we had this conversation. You can get the audio. The calls are recorded. Reese, if he had this information, he could have been telling his lawyer to go get the tapes. Just like he was begging his lawyer to go get the ATM video, the hotel video. This is stuff that he was telling y'all. We went to the hotel. He had the ATM card because he went to go get the rent. She paid the rent. There's so many things about this case. And if you guys want more information, send a request to I didn't commit the crime @gmail.com. Audio, they could have heard her own voice saying this is who did it. This was a week before her murder. Then her husband called her. He was calling to check on the kids, and she told him. They could have heard it in her own voice. There's so many things about this case that we could go on and talk about, because it's all in writing. It's all in the transcript. Everything that we're saying is in the transcript. It's in the reports. There's no fabrication. When he's saying what the prosecutor said and what the police said, is because we have the documentation to back it up. We didn't write it's the transcripts. You can pull them from the county website. They're in the transcripts.
Yeah.
You will be appalled.
Yeah. People are going crazy for this right now. The people on Instagram, they can't believe what they're hearing. People on Facebook right now, it's like, wow. And Maya, I'm just as shocked as you, man. I can't believe this. You know what I mean? At first I'm like, I can't believe it. But this has been happening to our people for so long. I don't know, Maya, if you remember Super, one of Vinny's friends, he was arrested and accused of murder and end up finding out he didn't do it, and they finally let him out after serving damn near 12 years or something like that. So yeah, man.
26
It,
years he's been locked up.
so this has happened before to a friend of ours that we know, and he's out of jail now. And
Yeah,
then so I just hope that they do the right thing and just listen to the case. You know, and watch
yeah,
the case, go look at the
yep,
evidence, and just see that you guys that they steamrolled that boy for no reason, man. That was
yeah.
crazy.
Don't take our word for anything we saying. Don't take our word
Yeah,
for it.
please
Look
look it up.
into
Well,
yourself.
I'm gonna reach out to Keith Ellis and myself. Like I said, he's real close with the Ujama program, and he deep in the community when it comes to this type of stuff. I'm gonna reach out to him. I'm gonna reach out to a couple other people. Shout out to Wynonna Yang. She would have been a judge for Ramsey County, but she didn't make it. I think she was down like a couple votes away. So shout out to her. Hopefully she could go over some of this paperwork and see that she can help him out. So we know people that could do the job if they want to. People gotta want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you taking a look at it and giving him an opportunity. The family appreciates you. Just giving him an opportunity to have his voice heard because
nah, it's all
a
good.
lot of people didn't won't listen because it was such a big political case, but they don't even know. They don't know that they were lied to.
Well, that's all right. Yo, this is what we do. This is what the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast is for. It's for everybody to come together. And if we really want to see some changes, we got to come together. So we come together and make this happen. It's no limit to what we could do.
His
My
name is Areese Manley. I'm sorry, she's asking a question. His name is
okay.
Areese Manley. It's AREECEMANLEY.
Okay, and then I got some messages you posted in a private chat. Do you want me to go ahead and send all of this out? Send out the media for media messages. I sent out the other I didn't commit the crime at Gmail. What email is that for?
That's if they have any questions or want to, want more information, they can submit a request to that email address.
Okay, and then the judge what's his name?
Joy Barcher was his attorney at the time. She's a judge now, so she's Judge Joy Barcher at the time.
Okay. Okay, so you guys listen, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. I hope it just really sparked your attention of what's going on around the world. You know what I mean? It's a lot of men in jail that's yelling that they're innocent and they're guilty as hell. You know what I mean? But this man got proof. It's in the evidence. It's in the court documents. It's in the blood and everything else that they got. Prove that this wasn't him. How could we allow another man to be up in there for that long? 20 something years? Over 25 years is crazy for a crime you didn't commit. We need this man home, you guys. Please share this live. I'm not asking for no money. I'm going to actually put money behind this episode right here just for we could get a lot of views because I want people to watch this, man, because this can happen to your son. I had a lot of people reach out to me for help about their kids. It could be your son, it could be your brother, your uncle, your father, your mother, your sister, could be accused of something, and if don't nobody pay attention, they'll sweep it right under the rug, man. For real. In 25 years, now that we got social media to the point like how we doing it right now, we can start, shining the light on things people don't know about. And that's what we do here at the Minnesota Cold Talk Podcast. If you guys don't know, we want to talk about the news. Maya says, do you see the comment right there?
Uh,
Um, she said no, to swept it under
yeah.
the rug and got promoted to judge after this wild. Oh man, this is crazy.
What's worse is that at the time of the trial, the family people on the street was saying you need to get rid of your lawyer. We heard she's up for a judge, and so the family went to her and asked her, "Hey, we heard you were gonna be you up to be a judge," and she said, "No, that's not true. I don't know where you
Wow.
heard that."
Wow, man, this is crazy. Well, thank you for coming on. This ain't you guys' last time coming on. As more of this develop and go, I'm gonna keep bringing you guys back on more information and things like that. So you guys, y'all didn't hear the last of this for real. Y'all did not hear the last of this. We're gonna keep on pushing it. Make sure you guys reach out to the family. Would you do me a favor? Um, are you on Facebook?
I am, but I'm never there. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm,
look,
I'm old. I don't really be on
just
social
do this
media
favor
like that.
for me. I'm gonna put my Facebook name in the back chat.
Okay.
Um, send me a friend request and come to this video and put all the information in the comment section for the people can reach out to you or reach out to the family, see how they can support and help. I want to thank all the politicians in Minnesota, man, that want to make a change and do right. You know, everybody don't, you know, everybody mess up. You know what I mean? But to right that wrong is what makes people
Right.
in the community have faith that you guys are going to do the right thing. So thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. This is Mental Talk Wednesday, and we'll see you guys Sunday. So peace out.